Nami is a member of the Straw Hat Pirates, and certainly one of the most important characters in the entirety of One Piece. Being Luffy's primary navigator, Nami holds tremendous importance in the series, and she will be the one who takes Luffy to claim the grand treasure of the One Piece in the end. This attaches tremendous importance to Nami, but fans know her to be more than just that. Nami's journey doesn't entirely revolve around Luffy. She has her own dreams and ambitions, and even before she met Luffy, her personal dreams were incredibly ambitious, which she continues to work towards today as well. Nami always wanted to be a cartographer who draws a map of the entire world, and while this dream appears to be somewhat impossible, she is working steadily towards it and planning to make it a reality. Nami picked up this dream during her childhood days, and around this time, children often impress upon their parents. Curiously, in the case of Nami, the mystery behind her birth remains unknown to this day. However, Oda might well and truly reveal it in the final saga, given that he has already crafted the story around her birth. Nami's current past in One Piece is already a touching story. Fans do not know much about Nami's actual past in One Piece. All they know is what Oda revealed in the Arlong Park arc, and it was certainly quite touching, despite Nami's actual birth not being shown. Nami was seen as a newborn in the arms of Nojiko, and eventually, Bellemere adopted both of them after a war in which she barely survived. Bellemere gave up her duties as a marine and simply decided to grow tangerines afterward. They lived together in Kokoyashi village, and Bellemere acted as a mother to both of these children. Both Nami and Nojiko were treated by Bellemere as if they were her own, and she didn't leave any stone unturned in being a proper parent to them. Unfortunately, their happy family was destroyed when the Arlong pirates were let loose on the East Blue, thanks to the breakup of the Sun pirates in the Grand Line. Just one more time and everything will be the same. Everything will come back to me. And I will be free from Arlong. Bellemere-san. Finally, I can laugh with all my heart. Nami. Arlong terrorized people in the East Blue, destroying village after village, and eventually setting his sights on Kokoyashi village. There, Arlong demanded people pay tribute to him in exchange for their lives, and whoever refused to pay or failed to generate the money was essentially killed. Bellemere only had enough for either her own life, or for that of her two children. Naturally, to Bellemere, saying that her children were not her own was taboo, which is why she essentially embraced death with open arms, and gave up her life, paying for the lives of Nami and Nojiko instead. Ever since then, these two children have been carrying Bellemere's legacy, and everything they do is to make her proud. Nami worked tremendously hard to gain the freedom of every single individual living in Kokoyashi village, and she would have succeeded had Arlong not been treacherous right from the beginning. The failure essentially crushed her, and that is where the Straw Hat Pirates came in, defeating Arlong and all his henchmen in the process and liberating the village. Nami has, since then, sailed with the Straw Hat Pirates, and she carries Bellemere in her heart on her adventures. Nami still wants to be a world-famous cartographer, and her main goal is to draw a map of the entire world. How Oda almost revealed Nami's past in Strong World. Nami is one of the few characters who Oda hasn't revealed the proper backgrounds of. Of course, fans did see her time with Bellemere in her flashback, but that isn't her actual background. Nami wasn't born to Bellemere, and fans are curious to know how Nojiko even found her in the first place. Clearly, Nami was born somewhere in the East Blue. Oda has also revealed the name of the kingdom that Nami was born in, and this place is known as Oikok Kingdom. Unfortunately, little and less is known about this place, and fans are eagerly waiting for the day when Oda reveals everything about Nami's birth. Unfortunately, there might still be some time until Nami's true past is revealed to the fans. To many fans, Nami's past might not even be relevant, and, given that Oda has waited so long to reveal it, some might assume that he's never going to reveal it. However, that notion might just be incorrect because Oda has already crafted a story for Nami's past. In fact, Oda mentioned in 2016 that he had already written one story about her birth, and he had not introduced it into the main storyline of One Piece just yet. Here's what Oda had to say about Nami's birth. I had conceived the initial plot of Strong World to dig into the secret of Nami's birth. The staff was shocked to read the content. The story became a little too touching, so I revised it to be more exciting for the young audience. It is clear for the fans to see that Oda has already illustrated a beautiful story for Nami. The fact that the staff were touched by the story and felt it was a little too emotional for Strong World just goes to show how incredible the story that Oda wrote was. Oda decided to scrap the idea of incorporating the story into Strong World, and, thankfully, this essentially means that Oda could potentially incorporate it into the main storyline of One Piece, if it ever becomes relevant. Of course, given that this was mentioned in 2016, after the release of Film Gold, the fact is that Oda still held on to this idea and hadn't scrapped it completely. This means that there is still hope for Nami's story to be incorporated into One Piece at some point later down the line. What Oda shouldn't reveal Nami's past to be? Of course, fans would love to hear about Nami's biological parents and the story surrounding her birth. However, there are things that could essentially ruin Nami's character. One thing that fans desperately hope Oda avoids is making her parents skilled cartographers and world-renowned geniuses. It is actually perfect that Nami picks up an interest in cartography by herself and that she is a prodigy on her own. Taking that from her parents would essentially reduce Nami's own character, and regardless of what Oda has cooked up for her story, this is one direction that the fans hope Nami's story doesn't take.